Welcome to the Pharma Source podcast.
Good morning, everyone, and warm welcome to the latest edition of the Pharma Source podcast. And today I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Toshi Iida, who is a board director at FUJIFILM Corporation and also chairman of FUJIFILM Biotechnologies Group. Looking forward to hearing more about what's been a very exciting period of time at FUJIFILM Biotechnologies Group. A very warm welcome.
Thank you very much, Chris, for kind introduction. As Chris introduced, my current role is I'm a board member of the FUJIFILM Corporation, Japan, and I'm leading the life sciences strategy headquarters, as well as I'm acting as a chairman for FUJIFILM Biotechnologies Group.
Thank you. And Toshi, I mean, it's very nice to kind of understand what you're doing now, but give us a few highlights across what's been a really fascinating career.
Okay, no problem. I joined FUJIFILM back in 1991. So I've been working for one company for 34 years. So almost entire my life. My first the role at FUJIFILM was I started as a member of international marketing divisions, just as exporting the photographic products like analog photographic films and the cameras. I moved to the London office in the UK in 1997, and I stayed over until 2005. So what I experienced over there is, as some of you knows, year 2000 was a year photographic film demand peaked out. So I witnessed the golden time of photo business, as well as a crisis moment of losing core business for FUJIFILM. 2012, our biggest rival, Kodak, filed Chapter 11, while we are still, growing, and the FUJIFILM, still now relighting the record high sales and the profit. And then I moved back to Japan, and between the 2005 and the 2020, I was the head of the digital camera divisions. And at that time, what I remembered was the year 2008, when the Apple introduced iPhone 3, and that started transforming from basic digital camera to the very high-end mirrorless camera system. So after that, thanks to our technological or the business transitions, our camera division is still the most profitable business within the FUJIFILM. So that's kind of I witnessed the technologies is changing, but by adapting or even leading that trend, we can continue to be successful. Then since 2020, I stayed in Germany as a president of FUJIFILM Europe. We have a regional headquarters in Düsseldorf in Germany. I stayed over the 2 years and 8 months. Then 2023, over the last 2 years, I've been in the current position. So I worked only for one company for 34 years, but I feel like worked for many different companies. So I've never been bored.
I'm sure, and there's that's a long journey, and clearly some really pivotal moments. You talk about the kind of golden time moving into the crisis moment, and the comparison, I guess, with Kodak, and then also the development of the iPhone and what that then meant to the business. So huge transitions as a business. Now, given you've spent much of your career overseeing and involved with other parts of the FUJIFILM Corporation, tell us a bit more about your journey into leading the biotechnologies group.
Yes, it's been amazing 2 years. That I learned a lot, and still learning a lot every day. One thing I can tell you is FUJIFILM is a 91 years old company. The company established in 1934, but still very hungry for the further growth. As the company sets a very high ambition, growing this CDMO biotechnologies business. Current revenue scale is 1.3 billion, we anticipate it will grow to be 5 billion just in the 5 years time. We committed to invest about 2/3 of entire FUJIFILM Group's annual capex in this business. Now, as the board director of headquarters, as well as a chairman for FUJIFILM Biotechnologies, I am fully committed to delivering this very exciting mission. No one else could do such a challenging journey, so I believe FUJIFILM can make it.
If you think about the length of time of the business, you mentioned 91 years, but how ambitious the business still is, and the amount of investment from across the group into this part of the business is huge. It's really an amazing story.
Yes, it is. So the company already, committed to over $10 billion investment in this life science space. And of course, it is certainly a different industry, different business for me. It's quite new. But, I already seen, some common things connecting to the heritage of our companies, 91 years old companies. A few examples. The number one is the technologies. Things like, digitalization or, artificial intelligence. So our FUJIFILM has, the good history and the knowledge and experience about the AI. It's, we developed those kind of the technologies already in the, like as a digital imaging business or digital diagnostic imaging business. So now we can leverage that technological capabilities into this life science field.
Yeah.
Second, yeah.
Of course. Please carry on.
And the second example is, it's like a zero-defect manufacturing. It's the kind of DNA of the FUJIFILM. When I joined the FUJIFILM as a company, the first thing I learned is that the people buy our products, that time the photographic products, the films. The reason why they buy that is to keep their happiest moment. So people bought our films for wedding, honeymoons, kids' births, the graduations, or family traveling. Also, those are the happiest moments. So if we fail the manufacturing, one single roll of films, the person who bought our products, the film, they are losing entire memory. So that's the spirit is, our DNA, our heart of the DNA. So zero defect manufacturing. That philosophy and the spirit is quite fit in this bio-pharma manufacturing.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for those couple of examples. Toshi, you obviously mentioned it's been a very busy couple of years. Obviously, you've learned a lot in this new role. What would you say are the most important learnings from the recent couple of years leading the biotechnologies group? And also, looking back at that period, what would you say that the industry maybe has gotten wrong over that period? And how has FUJIFILM learned from that?
Okay, so first, we set our mission statement as a so-called partners for life. The aspiration behind the partner for life is what our client expect from us as a CDMO partner. It is scalability, the speed, and the resilience. Those are, three, the value we have to keep in mind to deliver to our client. And for our client, behind our client, the patients are waiting for the innovative medicines. And we developed our concept, so-called Kojo X. So Kojo X is an enabler. So it is our unique strategy, unlike others. So who bought existing facilities or the plant, we are building up the new assets, new plant, to establish our new network. It is a large scale, the Denmark and the Holy Springs in North Carolina, mid to small scale, the UK and Japan. It's a modular design. Same equipment, same operating system, same quality system, and even the people moving across the network. So that is, we can provide to the client, again, the scalability, speed, and the resilience.
Thank you. That makes perfect sense. Toshi, before we get into more of the latest developments now, of which obviously there are many, can you give our listeners a bit more of an overview of the fascinating Fujifilm story? You touched on a couple of the key moments, when you talked about the golden time moving into the crisis moment, etc. But when we met a couple of weeks ago in Boston at Bio, I heard a small part of the story, but it's a really fascinating journey from the early days as a specialist in photographic film through diagnostics to where the company is now and the investment being put into this part of the business. There's obviously much to tell here, and we'd love to hear a bit more about that journey from you.
So probably not the people who are listening to this podcast. So when they heard about hear about Fujifilm, the people still they're thinking about the cameras or the films, the photographies. But the truth is that the Fujifilm has an 89 years healthcare the background history. So 1936, which is only 2 years after the Fujifilm started, established, we manufactured first X-ray film. So you remember all the films being captured to take a measure your the health. So we have a 89 years healthcare history. And the second thing is, again, the digitalization and the AI history. So Fujifilm was the first global, world first, the company who invented the so-called computed radiography. So we started manufacturing analog-based X-ray film. Then we became the first company invented digitalization for those, or medical diagnostic imaging. So many people say the Fujifilm is the still camera company or film companies. The truth is that Fujifilm was 89 years healthcare companies and invented for digitalization and AI. Now we are expanding our footprint, not just the diagnostic field, but more prevention and the treatment to be comprehensive healthcare companies. Then this life science, the investment, the business is a crucial part to make it happen.
Toshi, can you go into a bit more detail, thinking about the growth, a bit more detail on the role that M&A has played within that growth story? What have been the key moments in time and the pivotal acquisitions in the development of the business in the life sciences and healthcare sector? And perhaps looking forward, as much as you can, what's the strategy behind M&A now? Are there particular regions, technologies, modalities that you're focused on?
Okay, so with regard to the M&A, we started entering this life science business when we acquired the UK site and RTP North Carolina site back in the 2011. That is the beginning of a journey of our life sciences as well as CDMO the business. So that was almost 15 years ago. So since that, the first 10 years, we made mainly grown through M&A to acquire the capabilities or the modalities and so on. So the first 10 years, our journey was through M&A. Now we are moving to the more organic the growth through the capital expenditure, the facility the growth. So over the past 14, 15 years, in total, we invested over $10 billion. And that's the first 10 years through the M&A mainly. And for currently, we are focusing on the organic growth.
Thank you. And recently, we've also seen the news about the 10-year, $3 billion manufacturing deal with Regeneron at the Holly Springs, North Carolina site, which obviously is big news for both parties. Please tell us a bit more about what this partnership means.
Yes, the collaboration underscores our role as a critical partner in scaling production for some of the world's most innovative biologic medicines. servicing millions of patients worldwide. The Holly Springs, North Carolina campus, which will open in this autumn, showcases our continued investment in state-of-the-art biopharmaceutical manufacturing. This partnership reflects a shared vision of innovation, resilience, and commitment to improving healthcare outcomes globally through a continued and secure supply of medicines for patients.
Do you believe more pharma companies will be outsourcing core manufacturing in the future, or do you think there'll be more kept in-house? And also, how much of a focus is US manufacturing for you, and has that changed recently?
Okay, so to answer to your first questions, I believe it will go more and more outsourced.
Yeah.
Take an example. If you look at the semiconductor industry, this kind of the horizontal specializations is well advancing. So I think that semiconductor industry is mostly CDMO players, the manufacturing. And if you look at the trend in the pharmaceutical industry over the past few years, we see that the trend started to evolving. We think we can expect the pharma companies to engage in long-term partnerships for manufacturing.
Yeah.
And and to answer to your question about US manufacturing, yes, we are committed to building and maintaining strong and stable operations and the manufacturing capabilities to deliver high-quality products and services to support our partners and their patients where they are. So we can navigate any trade-related or other external influences and the challenges with our global network.
When we spoke in Boston, Toshi, we were talking a bit about network scalability, speed, agility, supply chain resilience, and how important all of these are to Fujifilm as a life sciences sector, as a corporation. Can you tell us a bit more about this in the context of Kojo X? You mentioned it briefly earlier, but tell us a bit more.
So first, let me explain about the Kojo X. So what the Kojo means. The Kojo, K-O-J-O, has double meaning in Japanese. So one is factory, the other is advancement or improvement. So the Kojo X is a kind of the advancing the factory or improvement at the factory. So that's the meaning of the Kojo X. So our Kojo X network, first of its kind modular approach with standardized equipment, processes, and procedures across our sites ensures supply chain resilience. We are building up the industry's the largest interconnected modular network of biomanufacturing facilities, revolutionizing how complex medicines are developed and produced at scale. So this gives the partners unprecedented manufacturing flexibility across to institutional knowledge and the speed in bringing life-saving treatment to the market.
Toshi, looking at people, what have been the characteristics of the leadership, the staff, the team, the business that have underpinned this very, very innovative journey over 90 years?
Yes. So I think that I presume you are asking not just a specific this biopharmaceutical business, but for the overall the Fujifilm.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think the few things I can pick up if I look at our company's histories. The first is understanding what the clients expecting us to play, us to contribute. That's the number one. So we are very much client-centric the culture. And the second thing is kind of the never give up the spirit. Fujifilm has several times in the kind of the crisis moment, as I told, year 2000, the film peaked out and that kind of crisis moment, and all other businesses that faced experience very much challenging time. But for our core heart is never the give up. The third thing is keep investment, keep challenging for the futures. So because if we stick to the one business or the one industry or one technologies, we will fail. So that's the reason we experienced year 2000 or after that with the film crisis moment. So our core heart or the spirit or DNA is keep investing, keep challenging the new things, always looking for the future.
Well, that's clearly been that's clearly been very effective and successful to date. So congratulations, Toshi. Continuing a little bit on the evolution of this famous brand, what does the recent Fujifilm Life Sciences umbrella rebrand mean for the business and for your customers?
Yes, at the Bio this year, we announced rebranding our company name. The first, Fujifilm Urban Scientific became Fujifilm Biosciences. And also, we rebranded Fujifilm Dioxins Biotechnologies into Fujifilm Biotechnologies. It's tried to be simplifying our message. So I keep saying to everybody, this is not just rebranding exercise. This is a redefining our vision, our value to the client, to the market. So under the umbrella of Partners for Life, together with this rebranding exercise, we can redefine our group purpose as a end-to-end solution providers. So which means we support from drug discovery stage, preclinical, early clinical, late clinical to the commercialization to the a very large scale of the manufacturing. We can be and we want to be the true partners to support end-to-end clinical journey to deliver to the patient, to deliver to the advanced medicines to the patient who are waiting for many, many years.
Thank you. That's it's good to understand. So there's obviously an element of simplification, I guess, of the previous brands, but also this real end-to-end journey through the different stages and bringing that to your customers is obviously an important point. Thank you. Toshi, you touched on this briefly earlier, but I'd love to hear a little bit more about where you see the CDMO industry heading in the next 5 years. What perhaps will separate the winners and the losers in biomanufacturing, and maybe one bold prediction for where the industry will be in 2030?
Good questions to answer. So we believe we really need to know what's the value the CDMOs can provide our partners. So again, it is a scalability, the speed, and the agility. Those are the three key things that our partners are looking us to deliver. And again, this is interesting time. So because of this kind of the current geopolitical or the situations, however, we already developed our concept Kojo X, and we already started investing for the European assets and the US assets, as well as the Japanese asset. So again, our core strategy is to get our facilities, to get manufacturing where our clients and where the patients are there. So I think, in that context, I think, we are very good position within this CDMO competition.
Yeah, thank you. So obviously this point about, the proximity to patients is clearly an important theme. Toshi, thank you for talking us through this 90-year journey and also what's happened in a very exciting way in the biotechnologies group in the last couple of years. What's next on the agenda for you? Where can we expect to see you again over the coming months?
Today I'm joining, from the Japan, the Tokyo. The next week I will start traveling our facilities, starting from the Copenhagen, Denmark, to the UK, to the back to the North Carolina, to the Texas. I think that I will start traveling the journey for individual the facility. So I really love the Gemba. So looking forward to.
That's great. Well, that's a lot of travel ahead. Toshi, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the Pharma Source podcast. Thank you very much for making the time. Thanks for sharing so much learning about your sort of remarkable journey, both personally and also as part of the FUJIFILM Corporation and the Biotechnologies Group. Thank you very much indeed. It's been great to speak to you.
Thank you very much for having me.